Hey, we're live!
We're
Woo!
live!
Backwards compatible back from number 4. Woo!
The
Party!
face my girlfriend just made when you said we were live.
What's wrong with being live, Holly? Do you just like
she
people
she
being
may
scared?
scamper across the screen. You may see a wild Holly behind me, as you typically do during these shows these days. It's her appearance. There she
Yeah,
goes.
Hey!
here.
She's like a
So,
Pikachu. She scampers when not easily caught.
but does she cosplay?
Yes, she does, as a matter of fact.
Interesting.
She will cosplay, if I'm not mistaken, when she goes to LeakyCon at the end of July.
Ooh, what is that a convention about?
It's about faucet.
LeakyCon concerns Harry Potter.
Faucets.
They are going to the Wizarding World
Are they
in
taking a
Orlando
train?
and having
You're a
fun.
wizard, Harry.
Is she
What's
taking
up?
a train there?
She has rides on the Hogwarts Express, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken. Unlimited butterbeer as well. She chimes in.
Ooh. And horrible tasting jelly beans.
As I recall,
Alright.
butterbeer is non-alcoholic.
That is correct. Holly could get wasted on butterbeer.
That's the point, right?
She would get wasted on butterbeer even if it's not alcoholic.
What does
Anyway,
butterbeer taste like?
what does butterbeer taste like, Holly? You're being asked a question.
Ooh,
Into
girlfriend
heaven.
interaction. A new thing for this. Oh, there goes my camera.
It's the girlfriend
enters
compatible podcast.
One of these days, I'll get her on this damn show.
One of these
Look
days.
at, look at, look at, look at. Oh, you can't see the face. She's a little far away. That's
And
unfortunate.
I ran.
Yeah, she does that.
Far
People
away.
scare her. She's a lot like a Pikachu, man. Pikachu don't
Sure.
deal with lots of people.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Pikachu go.
And also goes, how does it go? Or whatever the hell the Pokemon cry is.
That's pretty close.
Well,
good, man.
Here's trivia for you, Randy. In Pokemon X and Y, Pikachu is the only Pokemon with an actual voice rather than a cry. He says things like Pika!
Not a first time, John. Have you ever heard of something called Pokemon Yellow? Same
As a
thing.
matter of fact, sir, as a matter of fact, I have.
I think, where's my Game Boy? I have my Game Boy Color, and I've got Yellow in there as well. Is it in my desk? I don't know. I moved months ago, so I don't know where half of my crap is.
Am playing Pokemon Yellow on my Game Boy Advance SP, not necessarily as we speak, but it is certainly something that will happen in this here show at some point.
Deco Barrel, who is joining us live, says girlfriend interaction should be a permanent feature, and for some reason I feel dirty typing that. Well, Jared and I are left out
Poor
then.
Randy.
Jared
So
and I
wait,
don't have
who did you
girlfriends there.
Who did you
Yeah.
say it was?
Oh, girlfriend.
Deco
that-
Brill.
Yep.
Barrel?
Indeed.
Brill.
BRL.
How is it pronounced? He
Wow.
will tell us.
It's a mystery.
Can you guess who? It's a mystery.
Oh crap! Here we're starting already. Although I did sing already, so there's that.
True enough.
Whew, it's gonna be a bonkers episode this time
It
around,
is going to
guys.
be a bonkers episode. Jared, are you on any sort of a time crunch this evening?
Yes. Right now I'm in critical.
Well,
Critical conditions. He's fine.
let's go ahead and get this show started, and we'll get all of
Actually-
Jared's essential stuff right out of the way, alright?
Well,
Sounds
no,
good.
no, it's okay. I think I'll be able to participate. At least, I don't know. I have no idea.
I know,
Um,
and that's why we're going to get you not necessarily out of the way, but we want this show to have an adequate portion of Jared. So let's get this party started.
True. We're gonna get it started, and every time that things are supposed to go to a certain person, like talk about news or whatever, Jared, you're gonna be automatically bumped to number one. 'Cause
Wow.
we want to hear what you have to say, because we love you. I mean, I'm not
True.
afraid to say that. No
Thanks.
homo.
No, no, it is true. I might have to leave.
Not so much.
I may have to leave at any given time. So it's kind of like a whoa. But I'm totes here.
Okay,
In
cool.
spirit.
Well, then we're
Yeah.
gonna get this going. Before that, I'm gonna say Deco Brill says, like the Brill in Brilliant. More specifically, it's the Brill from Brill Cream, an old men's hairstyling product.
Wow.
Classy.
Is
Classy.
one of my favorite people, hands down.
Oh yeah. So,
Wow,
let's
that
get
is.
going.
That's a name.
Oh yeah. If you're tuning in right now, greetings and welcome to episode 4 of Backwards Compatible. We're a snazzy group of 4 peeps with a passion for nerdy things like video games, comics, anime, the whole works. Last week was pizza toppings, so this week how about we do ice cream flavors? Jared, do you have an ice cream flavor?
Ice cream flavor?
Yeah, are you an ice
Indeed.
cream flavor?
Yeah. You know what? I'd probably have to say mint chocolate chip. I'm sorry if someone else.
You've got to introduce yourself and say why you're identifying yourself as mint chocolate chip.
Yo.
What an introduction, Jared.
Oh, well, I'm glad that I didn't pick mint chocolate chip because that's what I started to write. But my name is Randy Thompson. I'm the chocolate chip cookie dough because your parents said I would make you sick, except for when I was putting ice cream.
You know what? You know what they also said would make you sick?
What?
I wasn't expecting you to take me up on that. Okay.
Oh no! Now you're committed. You gotta talk, man.
It's true. Go ahead. I want to
Let's
introduce
see.
myself until your joke is done, Mr. Punchline.
Let's see. What's a great way to put it? Spending a little extra me time. Waxing.
You spelled
waxing
M-I-I.
turtle.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
My name is Jonathan Higgins, ladies and gentlemen, and I am the chocolate therapy of this podcast because my girlfriend actually ships Jonathan X chocolate. It's her OTP.
Jeez. You've been on Tumblr for like a week, and now you're using crap like shit. What have they done to you? Oh my God, Chris.
They're infecting me fast. Save me while you can.
Wait, Chris. What?
I'm back.
He's back.
I am back.
Good. You can tell us your ice cream flavor.
Well, all of you jerks are super insensitive because I'm lactose intolerant, and I can't have none of your lactose-filled
is it the-
secretion from the
is it
udder
the-
of a cow.
Listen. Is it the kind that like you can't even have like a small tiny bit, or is it like you can have a little bit of dairy but you can't have much?
Well,
Like,
I
do you die if you just like one scoop of ice cream and you're like, ah, and you eat it and then
Okay.
like you die?
we'll go into the tiers here because there are certain kinds of dairy I can have in small amounts and it's okay. And it's always like the processed cheeses. Like if I have American cheese, it's not so bad. If I have like a hard cheese, like a cheddar, it's okay. If I have soft cheeses like brie or, like soft cheeses,
Mhm.
those are the worst. Like ricotta is the worst. If I have a
Yeesh.
teaspoon of ricotta, I spend 3 hours on the toilet screaming, wishing I was dead.
So you mean
Oh,
like
God.
you can't really have lasagna with
Well,
cheese?
I can have lasagna, just not ricotta.
Well,
Because the mozzarella is not as terrible. Plus, I take pills. I actually take pills for it. They're
Oh,
like
wow.
these digestive enzymes that give me the ability to eat cheese as if though I was like not a horrible human being who is intolerant to the very lifeblood of baby cows. But
So hold on, you're calling us insensitive. Didn't you write the question?
no,
I thought you wrote the outline, so
no, I did not write the question.
Jeez, you're like, oh, I don't watch sitcoms. Oh, I'm lactose intolerant. Oh, it's never ending with you, dude.
I wrote that introductory question. I will have
Thank
you know.
you.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
John, for hating.
You know,
one of
I
our
think I
members.
Hey,
think I
did
am
my best.
I think I've become more sensitive to like dairy over time, cause like, yeah, it's like when I was a kid, I could drink chocolate milk every day and this and that, and like now, it's just not. It's just like
I
why
eat milk with my Reese's Puff cereal every day.
I don't
Well,
even
here, let me
eat
Let me put
cereal.
it to you folks this way, something I learned. You're not just born lactose intolerant. Humans in general are
Oh,
meant
right.
to take breast milk from other humans, like like this, like with the movie kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
Milk from cows is not natural. Our bodies have trouble breaking it down because it's not for us, you know. But the supply dries up eventually, you know.
What about goat
naturally,
milk?
So... Actually, I heard goat milk is easier to tolerate. Oddly enough.
Well, let's put this to the test.
Let's
I wanna see
not.
you drink
No.
Let's move on.
you're
Let's
Do that.
dude. You are
Before-
asking me to sacrifice my bowel health, is what you're asking me.
I'm asking you to make a sacrifice for the sake of our viewers.
It's true.
Dude,
Let's
I could
move on,
seriously,
lickety
my
split.
butthole could drop out. Okay.
So, Deco
Need a
Grill
bathroom camera? Bathroom cam number 1.
Does Jonathan have a frontlit VASP or one of the later backlit models? John.
Model number NOAGS001. I'm going to assume that it's one of the later ones because it is copyright 2002.
Okay.
My model number is like 123 POOP.
Nice and backlit. Backlit.
So there we go.
Good gravy.
Has been answered. So, hey, guys. We're all very happy to have you here. All the guys that I'm talking to, all the people watching. Fun times. Whether you're watching live or if you're tuning in later. You know, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Speaking of those that aren't here live and in the moment and might be watching later on the U of Tubes, we happen to be getting our video podcast on at 9 p.m. Central time on July 16th, 2014. So that's exciting. We're gonna open up with last week's question of the week for the audience. So we had asked, well, Jonathan had provided us with this awesome question. What is your favorite piece of animation ever, and why? I know that I've got one response from an audience member. We've got a longtime listener watcher, Andrew Rudder, who says, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda 2, first 10 minutes of Up, probably my top
First
single
10
sequence.
minutes of Up for real, though.
Yeah. Ghost in the Shell, the original movie, Wolf Children / Summer Wars. If I had to take one out of that, probably Kung Fu Panda 2 because it blends 3D animation and traditional watercolors. So, a nice smattering.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll have live audience members chime in with their answers, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the meantime, if there are no more, we can get to ours.
That's true. Jared.
I'll start with Jared.
No, Jared has to start.
No, you don't have to do that each time, but it's okay. I'll go.
You're gonna be special this episode. We're gonna
Thanks.
treat you right.
Thanks. I guess I should explain why we're doing that real quick because I'm gonna do my plug right here, right now. Ready?
Dude, you plug away.
Yeah. So basically, today finally, Gobayano Media launched. So if you go to media.gobayano.com, the new media platform is live, and we are updating it to this very minute. And I'm actually in the middle of a shift right now. Although the thing is I've kind of gone outside of that shift boundary, and I've been it was like up till 5:30 last night doing stuff, and then I've been up all day
Your
doing stuff.
jokes.
So like I've just been doing stuff with Gobayano, and I've already posted a handful of articles, and basically if something important news comes up within like the anime realm, or within the realm of anime,
There you go.
basically,
Anime.
I'll have to.
That is a tradition that my outline started, I'll have you know.
Wow.
I'll go with it.
No, basically, I might have to jump ship if something super crazy comes up. But yeah, some really new content just came out within like the last couple of minutes. So you can see all types of different kinds of the core content that we have available for you guys to see. So anyways, that's really cool. Hopefully you guys will see more of that work there. Okay. But let's see here. So favorite pieces of animation ever is a question that I'd have to spend probably like at least a day or two of my life pondering over. But
That's why I asked it. I wanted to
Searching.
cause all of you pain.
well, listen.
You're gonna walk into the desert for 5 days and meditate and sweat out all your body water until the hallucinations begin, and then it will appear to you as your spirit animal, and you'll be like,
Daffy
"This is
Duck
the one."
appears as one spirit animal. Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's the deal. This kind of question is almost impossible for me, but the stuff that came to mind right away was the movie Spirited Away from Studio Ghibli.
Aha!
So there's a scene near the end that has to do with characters flying, and some of the animation really blew me away because I believe that like the very majority of a lot of their artwork and stuff is done by hand, and they storyboard everything out. Everything's just so constructed in such detail, and so a lot of those scenes really stand out to me. There's a lot of like various anime that I could try to list that had like standout scenes in animation, but I'll just kind of sum it up and say in general that I'm a big fan of older stuff because of all that like crazy hard work and like animation cells, and you can see the grit of like the film. You can see that when they shot it. So like I really appreciate a lot of different kinds of that kind of stuff. I could list off like notable features like Akira, and yeah, I can't even think of anything else. But newer stuff would be like Makoto Shinkai type work where it's so real. It's really crazy. But yeah, I'll leave it at that because I could go on and on. So
Cool.
but, yeah.
Chris, since you did all the work on the outline, would you like to go next?
Actually, no. Someone else go.
Well, I'll fill us in with Deco, who said off the top of his head he's gonna have to go with Laputa Castle in the Sky. So nice. I've not seen it, so I don't know. Jared, have you seen it?
Laputa. Yeah.
Sorry.
I was kidding.
Wow.
Laputa. Laputa. Actually, yeah, Laputa Castle in the Sky. Doesn't it have? No, that's never mind. Yeah, no. So Laputa is really good. Basically, there's in terms of animation, there's a particular shot in that film of. Is the main character? Is it Patsu? Is that the guy in that movie? He's riding on like this mini airship bike thing that looks kind of like a bug, and as he's like riding it, like the way that the scenery on the ground goes by him is like curved, even though the earth doesn't like curve that fast, but like it just goes by in such a way that it really represents movement well. So yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, animation was really well done in that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and include Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is another one of Deco Bill's answers.
Do it.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so good.
Let's see here.
No, let's talk about Roger Rabbit for a minute. I like that one.
Dude.
That's a good one. You know what surprised me the most is, of course, what is his name? Christopher Lloyd plays the judge in that one.
Yes, sir.
And
I believe you are correct.
I love 99% of that film, but at the very end, when he starts going crazy, and it reveals that he is, spoilers, that he's a Toon himself, that scene is probably one of the scariest pieces of animation I've ever seen in my entire life. And it kind of scarred me for life as a child. I'm watching this dude freak out, and his eyes are bulbing out and then popping back in. And
oh, man.
That's creepy as hell.
You're taking me back, Chris.
But as an added bonus, I think if I were to be given any weapon, like if I could say, okay, you can have any weapon ever in the world, and you can have it made real, I would totally have the gun with the Toon bullets.
Agreed.
That would be super cool, because that makes no sense, but it's like caused so much damage. It was awful and great at the same time.
Deco also threw out Gem, so that's cool. I've not really seen a lot of it, but I've seen the intro as well as a very funny parody of Gem on YouTube, and I'm not going to say the name because I'm just not going to do it. Deco also gave a correction to Mr. Jared, who said the bug-like aircraft belongs to the pirates and not Pazu.
Wait.
Well, yeah, but he uses it.
I did say pirates. Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
what is this
there
again?
are
So I
air
can watch it?
pirates. There's pirates in that. They're like
Cool.
really kind of well done too, like as a comedic gang. But it doesn't matter because at that point in the film, he's riding that thing to go, and I believe he's going to rescue someone or do something important. It was his.
Gotcha.
He also says, "I hear you, Chris." But Judge Doom's reveal was nothing compared to the scene with Dip and the poor little shoe.
Does that make me an awful person that didn't affect me as much as everyone else?
Yes, we'll go with that.
I'm a terrible human being because I didn't really give a hell about a little toon shoe. But I was like, yeah, it sucks. 'Cause of course, he's like all pathetic and crying and he doesn't want to die, and that's cool. But he's a shoe. He's a shoe. Come on. Let's save our sympathy
move on
for
to someone else's answers.
Sure. My standout choice should probably be pretty obvious if you know me and the things that I like. So I'm gonna go with the
Trigun.
No, I'm gonna go with the obvious answer and say Dragon Ball Z. But there's a
called it.
specific thing that I want to say.
Go for it.
I've got it narrowed down even further. I'm going to pick episode 120, which is when Trunks shows up and defeats Frieza, because it's drawn super amazingly, mostly because it was key animated by a Katsuyoshi Nakatsuru, who was the character designer for the animated version of Dragon Ball. So really his job was designing the characters and adapting them from the manga to be used and make them animation ready. So he didn't do a lot of like actual animating and things. He only had his hands in like 3 episodes total, and episode 120 was one of them, and it looks really, really gorgeous, and just the whole flow of the thing is really great, and everything looks on model and super glorious. So yeah, it's my go-to episode. So if ever I'm feeling in a Dragon Ball mood, I'm like, what should I do? Oh, I'm going to put in 120 because that episode is super great. So if you've got the show, I would highly recommend popping that disc in and checking that episode out and then being like, whoa, being totally blown away because it is super great. And then the next episode is really terribly drawn and it's scary. It just makes me sad. So that's mine. Jonathan, you on the outline are blank. What's the deal, man? You got to have something.
I do, and
So
those who have liked the backwards compatible page on Facebook can probably already guess my answer because does anyone know where that scene is from on this here show?
I don't
I'd
know the
have to
name
look
of
it
the
up.
episode, but yes, I do know that whole episode. That
All right.
is short.
Ladies and gentlemen, Duck Amuck is the greatest cartoon short ever created. Hands down, bar none, no competition, just blows everything else out of the water. For those of you who are not aware of what Duck Amuck is, Duck Amuck stars Daffy Duck. And the scenery opens up, and he's just a musketeer somewhere, and all of a sudden, shit starts getting erased, and shit starts getting absolutely freaking insane as Daffy Duck is tormented by a mystery animator. This animation messes with sound, messes with Daffy himself. It is just a complete, 6 or so minutes of just tormenting this character. The fourth wall isn't just broken, it's completely toyed with. It is the funniest 6 minutes I've ever watched in my life. I still have vivid, crystal clear memories of the very first time I saw that cartoon and cried my eyes out from laughing at 10 years old. Here's some trivia. I own the Looney Tunes Golden Collection on DVD, and Duck Amuck is on one of those discs, and I will watch Duck Amuck to this day. I watched it when I came up with that question. Duck Amuck is just freaking greatness.
Super, really good. It super really is. That's grammar. It is a super good choice.
We kill more than dogs on this show. We kill grammar too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not afraid to murder things. Andrew Rudder is, in all caps, specifically says, watch Castle in the Sky. Probably directed towards me because I haven't seen it, and my apologies. Deco says, reboot was amazing for its time. A shame it ended on an unresolved cliffhanger. Well, Deco, good news for you, because as of October 3rd, 2013, Rainmaker, formerly known as Mainframe, who did Reboot, announced the development of a new Reboot TV series, so get hyped, because,
Really?
coming with stuff. Oh, yeah, Reboot's coming back. It's getting a reboot or a continuation. I don't know.
Well, I don't... Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I saw Reboot. Does it end on a cliffhanger per se, because don't they reboot the entire system at the very end of that show?
That's an excellent question. I don't remember how it ended.
Because they had this whole huge story arc where Enzo goes out into the net to try to find someone to save the computer because Bob disappears, and I don't know, they find Bob on the internet and he gets himself a girlfriend and he's grown up now, Enzo's grown up and he's got a beard and everything. It's crazy.
Beard and a missing eye.
See, I watched.
I don't remember the eye thing,
but it's been a long, long time.
You guys talking about a reboot?
Yeah, we are.
Sir.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the other kind of CG type stuff that happened back then. That was Beast Wars.
Yeah.
That was my jam. That was my CG jam.
You know what preceded Beast Wars in the morning, every morning before I went to school?
What?
DuckTales. It was Beast Wars and DuckTales, and that was the weirdest morning lineup of my life. But every single morning I'd eat cereal and watch some DuckTales.
Dude, that sounds like a wonderful hour of television.
Deco follows up, says that season 3, 2 TV movies were produced after that, called Damon Rising and My Two Bobs, and My Two Bobs ends badly. So.
Weird.
Well, yeah, if you have more than one Bob, come on.
True. I remember seeing that, but I don't remember how it ends. So, Reboot is good stuff. Is that everybody's things we got here? I think that's.
We did not get to Chris. Chris did not.
Chris.
Well, I'm glad I went last because I've been sort of trying to make up my mind. I forgot. I completely forgot to answer this question. So
shame on you.
Taking
Me too. You're not alone.
I will take no shame.
Yeah, don't take shame.
Because I did come up with an answer, and I do think that it is an excellent answer. So thank you for the time. I'm going to go ahead and say Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
Yes.
That show is the bomb. That had
Do you have a particular episode?
A particular episode? Not really, because you know what? I love that show to death. I have the full series on this big, awesome DVD collection, and I pull it out and I watch it all the time. It's really great. It took the reins. I can't say specifically that it. I mean, because you guys were getting all technical with the key art and the animation was amazing.
Hey,
and
I was just going for hilarity with Duck Amuck.
Oh yeah. No, and I totally am. I'm impressed by your guys' attention to detail. Mine was more of a general, that it had done more for Batman than almost any other form of media, save, of course, the comics. And, wow, I mean, the Batman animated series gave us Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn didn't even exist until they totally made her up. And then people were like, wow, check this chick out. She's awesome. I'm going to throw her into the comics, too. It's going to be great. And, yeah, so Batman the Animated Series, it's all good, man. It's all great.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Harley Quinn is the most badass female villain in comic book history.
Yeah, for sure.
Batman. I used to watch Batman Beyond, but I was never too much I used to watch Batman, but
You haven't watched Batman the Animated Series?
I've seen it. I've seen different stuff from Batman.
As long as you've seen it, that's
not
okay.
like I might have seen a little bit.
I will sit you down. I will get drunk, and we will watch the show in a marathon.
So this is slowly adding to the list of things that are going to happen when eventually we hang out. So
Mhm.
True facts.
Absolutely. Andrew sets us up with some more info saying Reboot is available in a full series DVD set, and I looked it up. Yes, it is. For $51, you can get the whole thing.
That
So
isn't
not bad.
bad
does
considering
it say who
the volume.
released it?
I'm gonna guess Shout Factory. Yep, it was Shout Factory. So
Then
good
you're a
stuff.
good guesser.
I know, right? So
Deco in all caps. How did I forget Batman the Animated Series? Was
they
that the proper inflection to use?
Jared Shout Factory also put out the entirety of Beast Wars on DVD, and it's only
So-
$32.
Dudes.
So I have
If I had the
seasons
disposable income.
1, 2, and 3 of Beast Wars on DVD actually. I thought it was
Nice.
Rhino Entertainment, but if it's Shout Factory, we'll just go with that.
Rhino did it before. They actually handled all the Transformers stuff, and then eventually Shout Factory got a hold of basically everything but the
Oh.
1986 movie. So
I didn't know that. Interesting.
yeah, I've actually got. Probably can't see it from here. Well, actually, you probably can. There's a giant Transformers box set in the back, right there. Well, there.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like Transformers, and that's the Shout Factory release, which was a
More
limited.
than meets the eye.
It was more than meets the eye, and more than meets the wallet. It was like $200. It was ridiculous.
Wallets. Who needs wallets when you can have
Exactly.
DVD sets?
So let's move on and talk about news, because we've talked about animation for a long time, which is great. I love it. I went to school for it, so I better love it.
Oh man.
But we've got a show to do. So
It's true.
let's talk some news. This is labeled for everyone, but I don't want to steal other people's thunder because I got my own news stuff to talk about.
All right. Anybody
John?
want to take it? I'll take it.
You and I can double team it.
Then we'll go on 3. I wonder how.
Well,
this
no, I
goes
mean
out
like
once.
not like that. Oh, you
All right.
you do the first. You do the
You
first
take
part.
one. You take
I'll
the
do the
male
first part.
character, and I'll take the female character.
No.
Oh wait,
I'll do the first part. I'll do the first part, and you do the second part.
fair enough. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Tons of Smash news on Monday. New characters revealed include Lucina, Robin, and Captain Falcon. That dude who is totally trying to punch a woman in the face. I don't know about you guys. That smells.
Oh,
like
he's not trying. He was like succeeding.
Tumblr was going cray-cray over that stuff. Wink, wink. Over-exaggerated wink.
Yeah. Speaking of Tumblr, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, John. You take the second part.
All right. Next month's Koro Koro will feature the entire roster of characters and stages for the 3DS version of the game, according to multiple sources. So on August 15th, I suppose, we will know all.
We will know all, and we will see all.
And no.
And that's when we're going to hear all about Shulk. But you know what?
I hope so. That's still crossing my fingers that, if Chorus Man never happens, because the whole Jamatsu leak kind of took a big hit with Chrom not being playable, but being sort of a part of the Smash Final Smash for
But maybe
for Robin.
maybe it was a deceptive. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe that's
I don't know, but-
they saw him in game and like, oh, he must be playable, and it was just
Exactly.
a guess. So
But it makes sense. It makes sense from a marketing standpoint to put Shulk in the game, because then you're hyping up for Xenoblade Chronicles X. You're trying to introduce it. They're like, oh, who's this sword fighter with the really awesome red and blue glowy sword who has these weird time-reducing powers and all that?
Exactly.
And then you're like, all right, cool. Let's check out this game.
But dudes, what do we think about Lucina, Captain Falcon, and Robin?
I'm glad that Captain Falcon made a return. As for Fire Emblem Awakening, I know that's a big deal. I've never played it, but I'm not gonna lie. The fuel is being added to. Randy really probably needs to try this game out. But
Good.
yeah, I know.
What
it's
about
just-
you, Jared? Are you gonna open up your copy?
No.
Come on, are you kidding me?
Says that
Sorry.
with such certainty.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm really into Smash. I mean, after like hosting college tournaments and like getting really serious into it, I'm really excited for characters that have already been announced. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But like that reveal, if it was like Shulk or whatever, and Fiora, and like Fiora's alternate. I'll just make it short, so no spoilers. Would be M Fiora. You know what? Like that would be really cool. But you know what? It wasn't. It was like Fire Emblem, and
It's
I played the
going to
demo,
come
and the
later.
demo was really good. But you know what? No. I was just like, man, I've never really gotten into the Fire Emblem characters who were in the game anyways, because it takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of skill to like swing those swords around, and if you do it right, it's actually really hard to fight them. So it's like, what? But no, I'm still excited for Pit and Rosalina. So
Jared's
Well,
got a lot of
Rosalina's
thumbs
a new
up in this
character.
show.
What was
it's
that, Chris?
one of the thumbs up days.
Do you want to play Thumbs Up 7 Up?
No.
Oh, dude, that's nostalgia right there. Chris, how do you feel about these characters and that Jared is poo-pooing so hard on these characters?
I know. I feel
Not
like I'm being attacked right now. It's awful.
Oh no.
But
Being attacked is like reading your conversation about is Zelda an RPG or not. That's what I would say. It was like an all-out battle.
No,
But no,
yeah,
I
we were going at it.
have full
we don't
respect
have
for
2 hours.
who like this. I'm really interested in the character who uses like the book and the fact that there's a mechanic where he's just like has these spells. Man, I feel like I'm talking about Sailor Moon again, but like these characters I don't know anything about. He's using like this he's like, I run out of them, so I use my sword, and then he's just like, yeah, he fights. He looks different. Like it's kind of neat to see these attacks that don't seem like they land as much physically. I don't know. Cool.
He's not.
Alright,
He's not
Chris.
on steroids not like Ike. Ike's totally
Word.
hitting the juice in between smashes.
Like the
You can't
impression
say
I'm
that
getting.
about
is
Ike. Have you
Fire
played
Emblem
Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, Chris?
Oh, you know what? Funny you should say that. I went to GameStop earlier today on my lunch break, and I looked around for those Fire Emblem games that you recommended to me, and I found, I believe it was Path of Radiance for the Wii at
That would be
GameStop
Radiant Dawn,
used, and I was like, hey, I just got paid. Let me see maybe if I can swing this. And I looked at the price, and it was $65 used.
Holy shit!
$65.
That's
65
almost as
clams,
expensive as
65
Xenoblade.
smackers, 65 dinars, 65 ducats.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I
Yeah,
still had
that's
them
good.
so I could lend them to you. Oops.
Did you sell them? Are you kidding me?
Listen to me. I put hundreds of hours into Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance, respectively, but once Awakening came out,
Okay.
Awakening is going to be my
see-
go-to, and Awakening is digital, so I can't get rid of that.
You remember that picture of Captain Picard where he's doing this?
Yes, Chris.
Imagine that's my face right now. Imagine that's me.
I know,
Make it so.
and the only thing I hate about Awakening is they made Nephany from Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. Hands down my favorite Fire Emblem character ever. They've nerfed Nephany because they took away her class. The unique thing about Radiant Dawn is, so this is only going to skew for Fire Emblem fans for just a second, so Jared and Randy, do pardon me. But Chris, do you know how in Fire Emblem games you can promote to a second class?
Yes. Well,
In Radiant
yeah.
Dawn, because it is a sequel, there are first class, second class, and third class fighters. And when you promote Nephany to her third class, which, by the way, there is a class, I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but it's a sword master, except the specialty is lances and not swords. So it's everything that makes a sword master what it is, but lances are the specialty. It's Halberder. That's the third class, if I'm not mistaken. Nephany the Halberder, hundreds of motherfucking people on those maps. Nephany soloed them all. That's my favorite
cool and all,
character ever.
And I'm gonna let you finish. But does it have a bride class?
It does not.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Fair enough.
Sorry, man. Not the
All
best.
right. Any other... Wait, I haven't even chimed in on how I feel about... You have it, Chris. Go. How do you feel about these characters?
Oh, dude. Well, okay. As if no one could tell by now, Fire Emblem Awakening is amazing, and all the Fire Emblem characters are sword fighters. We've got Ike, we've got Marth, and then we've got Lucina, and they're all with the sword fighting, and that's cool. And Robin has the Levin sword, which is cool, but the tomes, man, they're totally
I've been
mixing
waiting
it up.
for them to announce a Fire Emblem character that doesn't specialize in sword fighting forever. And as soon as Robin just loomed into that character trailer, I'm like, yes!
Speaking of which, since when can a tactician fly? I don't remember being able to do that in the game.
Oh,
I
if
got
only.
my tactician and my grand tactician, and I'm looking at a river, and I'm like, yep, I'm not getting over that.
He levitates.
Yeah, like, what? Come on, man. I can't do that. I can't do that in the game. Teasing us
For
with
those who are
impossibilities.
curious, I am super duper hyped for these characters. Obviously, anyone who knows anything about me knows I am an avid Fire Emblem junkie, but I am most impressed with Lucina and the fact that they could pick between Chrom and Lucina, and they went with Lucina over Chrom because she's female and badass, and there's so much to her that you can do
There is.
without Chrom.
She is far and away the more interesting character.
Between the two,
Like,
most
far and away.
definitely.
I don't understand the whole thing of having female characters that just ruin video games. Ubisoft has it right. Don't even bother animating them. It's too much work. I mean, forget that.
And
Yeah,
you're missing
sorry
your
to rain
fedora.
in your Fire Emblem parade, but I agree with Randy completely.
Jared,
Uh,
you're missing your
they-
fedora too. Should I just get fedoras for everybody?
I can feel the
Because I don't
beard
want
on
to
my
be the
neck.
creepy fedora dude.
You can feel the milady coming on.
I can feel the milady coming.
Let's move on.
Let us move on.
This
So,
is not a fedora, by the way, in case you guys were noticing. This is a cadet cap. It is not a fedora.
Whatever.
It is a cadet
Still
cap.
ahead.
anyway,
And it's a
Jared,
cadet cap with Sly Cooper, which is awesome.
tell us about some Ghibli stuff going on.
Ghibli. This trailer came out like today or yesterday, or it's really hard to tell because Japan's ahead of us in time by like half a day. So
They're in the future, man.
they are. They are. Let's see here. Basically, a trailer was released, a full-length trailer for When Marnie Was There. Their new film that I actually have to update something I said a week or two ago on this very podcast. Basically, I said that the movie had come out already, but what that was actually, I got it wrong. That was the date for the like the pre-screening, like the launch event screening in Japan was like around July 4th or it was like maybe before that. But it's actually coming out on the 19th in Japan. Yeah, that was just a pre-screening, and this is the actual like trailer for the whole like big launch there in that country. So the trailer has the really good theme song again, and the feels are there, and they have some really like interesting dialogue choices for it, and you can find some translations on the internet for what it means, but it really kind of hits home for what the movie represents. Just for anyone who doesn't know, it's an adaptation of the novel. It's an English novel called When Marnie Was There. I have not read it myself, but it's about a girl who is alone, doesn't really have friends, and what my understanding is she finds a ghost who is a friend, who she doesn't realize is a ghost at first, but the pieces come together. But before she learns those things, she learns the values of friendship, of relationships, and probably, I'm not gonna even try to guess what happens by the end of that. But yeah, it's really interesting stuff, in the trailer just captures so much, and it really is sad that we're not gonna be able to see that until probably next year sometime. But there was actually more news. Princess Kaguya has a theatrical release date of October something, so it's coming in October now, in English and probably Japanese in some theaters. So that's really neat, but it just means When Marnie Was There will be forever before we get it.
Well, how long ago did Princess Kaguya come out theatrically in Japan?
I think it was. I don't remember. I thought it was last year, but like things just are hard to keep track of. Um, I they've attempted to make like multiple movies at once before, but usually it's really challenging. But I guess because you went from one set of people working on Kaguya and having the whole like older generation leaving, and then you're moving into like Yonebayashi, who directed Arrietty, and he's gonna be directing when Marnie was there. So like you have the Takahata stuff over here, and then you have Yonebayashi over here. It's like maybe they were able to overlap it, which is why I think they might have been closer, but I can't remember when exactly. I just know like, and then we saw, in theaters here, we saw when the Wind Rises. It's like back in the winter time or something.
It was like March
So-
or something like that. I think it was like early spring or whatever.
We're fairly behind, but they're trying. Like they keep on acquiring these films and dubbing them and doing their absolute best to get them out, which is really cool for us.
Yeah, for
We're
sure.
lucky.
Yeah. I'm excited, and at least we've got Princess Kaguya to look forward to in the meantime.
Yeah, it's true. Like Princess Kaguya is going to be. I've heard really great things about the animation. When Marnie was there, I think it's going to be a lot about the story. But the animation is like crazy for a Ghibli film. It's
Yeah.
really neat.
John, what do you got for us? You got our bi-weekly dose of
Oh my
Pokemon?
goodness! It's time for our bi-monthly dose of Pokemon talk. You guys
Oh.
ready?
Yeah.
I'm of course talking about the. I think we do finally have a definitive release date for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and that is November 21st. So when November 21st rolls around, you've got secret bases, Pikachu cosplay, and new and improved looks for the gym leaders and the Elite Four of the Hoenn region. Who is hyped?
Now, for someone who never played Hoenn games, what the hell are secret bases?
All right.
Secret bases
Go for it, Chris.
were actually secret bases were actually a Gen 4 thing.
No.
where there was an underground- What?
Secret bases began in generation number 3 with Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. You were wandering around the world, and any place in the world you find this little notch, and you use a TM move to access the little notch, and your Pokemon sort of digs you a little hole in the wall. And in your hole in the wall, it's sort of your secret base, your space, where you could do things like decorate it and fill it up with Pikachu dolls and various posters and bed frames and stuff. And it was just all sorts of knickknacks and crazy stuff that you could call your own. And that was your secret base, and other players could access it via like connector cables and stuff like that. But the technology was very limited in the Game Boy Advance era. What Chris is talking about is Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum's carrying forward of the whole secret base thing, where you could go underground and make a secret base there, and other players could access it via local Wi-Fi connection. But for the sake of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, these former local secret bases that only your friends next to you could explore, there's going to be QR codes. You can upload your secret base for anyone on the internet to see. They're taking it a step further by not just making it your own little special room that you can fill up with Pokemon decorations and stuff, but you can turn that into a gym if you want to and set up non-playable characters, and that'll be your gym leader with your team. And like you can make your own gym. You can make it just your own secret Pokemon apartment complex pad thing that you just let people explore with your QR code. But I just knew that they were going to go the extra mile with secret bases in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and I'm so stinking hyped because, like, it's not enough that they're going to give us a fully huge, expansive Pokemon universe with these games, but, like, the sort of side stuff where you can spend your hard-earned Pokedollars on, like, little Charmander dolls and decorate your room with the Charmander dolls and, like, let other people see your cool little Pokemon room, that is something that I'll spend hours on and not even realize the time's gone by, and I'll have this little cool spot to call my own. And And I'm going to be like, oh, this is my own cool little special spot. That was back in 2002 when I first played Emerald. But now it can be everyone's spot because I can seamlessly share my QR code on the internet and be like, check out my Pokemon room.
Isn't that basically Animal Crossing?
Yes, it is. But it's Animal Crossing inside of a Pokemon game. Come on.
Whoa. You just blew my mind. Yeah,
So there you go. There's your secret base talk.
Will Jonathan cosplay as Pikachu on the podcast sometime?
Yes, I will. I guarantee you. When Halloween rolls, like, Holly is already trying to get me to cosplay as Ash and Pikachu. So, you know what?
Speaking of Pikachu, something that did happen, and actually I don't really know much about this. I was just researching it a bit. There's a cafe or something centered around some convention or event has something to do with Pikachu foods. Was within the last 24 hours has been news coming up. There's like Pikachu curry where it's like a mound of rice and they put these like things that look like shells from tacos that in the shape of Pikachu's ears in it, and then like you get curry, and then there was Pikachu, I think it was a meat bun, Pikachu
Man, I want to try
pancake
this
desserts,
stuff.
and then there was a variation of drinks based on different Pokemon names. This all happened.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
retweeted something from, like, it was like a Pikachu mimosa or something. Like, it was pretty cray.
Yeah, that's all I'll ever probably be able to contribute about
Let
Pokemon.
me try to find it. This is live research going on.
True. In the meantime, Pat had something he wanted to say about Ike and things in Smash Bros. He said he would like to see Ike use Great Aether on Mountain Dew bottles in his backyard. It's a funny joke if you understand that there are people that will buy swords and then record themselves for YouTube cutting Mountain Dew bottles in their backyard.
Is this person named Pat Frazier?
Yes, the person who brought up the joke is Pat Frazier. He doesn't buy swords and record himself cutting things in his backyard, but it's fun. Will Jonathan go Jessa Nigri with his cosplay?
Ladies
You
and
better.
gentlemen, I've already
Yes.
shown you the tattoos on my back by lifting up my shirt. I don't need to get any sexier than that. Thank you.
That's what you think.
The Pokemon
Hey,
exhibit that Jared was talking about was shown in Tokyo this past weekend. I think what you're looking for is to follow @FarmBoy in Japan on Twitter. That is all one word, and he can show you these Pikachu drinks and the things that Jared is talking about. So there.
Crazy.
Nice. Let's see. What do we got next here? Oh, Jonathan again wants to talk about Club
Hey,
Nintendo.
Chris can piggyback off me for this too because I know he's lukewarm. Actually,
I'm
this is going to
lukewarm.
springboard into something else we can talk about throughout this here show. But the Club Nintendo Gold and Platinum rewards have been revealed. In previous histories, the Gold members have gotten their choice of digital games or a calendar so they can have something physical. Platinum reward members have gotten a Mario hat, a statue featuring various Mario characters, like pins and random stickers and stuff like that, and it was really weird. And last year, we got the Majora's Mask soundtrack. This year, Gold and Platinum members on Club Nintendo can have their choice of digital games. No physical rewards whatsoever. A lot of people are really pissed off.
Why are you reading that in sarcasm, Jonathan, when those are
Hey.
clearly the best prizes ever released from Nintendo?
Do you really feel that way, Jared?
No.
Thank you. I'm answering in sarcasm because I'm not exactly, like, pleased as punch about this myself. However, instead of complaining about the Platinum Awards and the fact that they are less than stellar, much like I considered doing when all the Platinum Awards were one year were like a group of 3 posters, I'm like, I have no use for these posters, so I'm going to ship them off to somebody who will use them a lot more than I will, because I don't know if you guys can see because I can't move my computer very well, but my apartment is absolutely filled to the brim with official and unofficial Zelda posters, and I'm even about to put up another Zelda poster from Club Nintendo right above me. So, my poster quota was filled, and the Platinum Award being a bunch of posters served no use to me, so I shipped them off to a friend. These digital rewards are either games I already own or games I have no interest in owning. That said, we will end this show by discussing our listener question of the week, and with that, I will announce a sort of contest thing, because I have no interest in redeeming my Club Nintendo Platinum Reward. So, if you guys participate in our audience question of the week, there may be a Wii U or 3DS retail game in it for you.
Da-da-da-da-da, giveaway, contest, whatever. We'll figure something out.
Yes,
we need like a trumpet to blow or something during that.
If you need trumpets, you just need to turn to the Ruby and Sapphire soundtrack. God knows they use that trumpet on the Game Boy Advance way more than ample.
See, what's sad is that Google Plus normally has effects that you can do, and include sound effects, and it'd actually be here. But unfortunately, for on-air ones, they removed that because they probably think it would be obnoxious.
Shit would get cray.
Yes, because I would go nuts. But, whatever.
Is true. We can move on from Club Nintendo unless someone has something they'd like to add on the positive or the negative. I know the internet loves to complain or complain about complainers, and I am neither one because I'm taking my reward that I'm not satisfied with and giving it to someone.
Well, first of all, that's very nicely, John. That's really cool. You were a good dude. You were a good dude for doing that. We discussed this morning. We talked about it. There was an initial disappointment that kind of was here in the heart also. I think the thing to consider is that it's not the fact that they're giving away games, because that's cool. I totally love it when they give away games. But in order to reach platinum status, you have to redeem the coins that you get from games. And if you've made it to platinum, you've bought a considerable number of games. And so, because these are all first-party Nintendo titles that they're giving away, odds are a person who has obtained platinum will have like most of these, pretty much.
It's true.
I'm in the same boat as you, John. I had like most of them. I had a good 75%
Our
of them.
choices were actually exactly the same, and I'll go ahead and list off the retail games that you could be eligible of winning. Game & Wario, you did not own. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, you did not own, and Fluidity Spin Cycle, you did not own, if I am correct. Because all...
And Dr. Luigi, but you told me not to do that.
No. Like, don't get me wrong, I bought Dr. Luigi day one. It's Dr. Mario. Like,
It's Dr. Mario with Green Mario.
Yes, with Green Mario.
I feel
don't forget that death stare, Randy. It's coming for you too.
I feel like Mario is that guy from Catch Me If You Can, where he went around like doing all these different things, like faking all these careers. Like he was never meant to be a doctor, but he totally faked it and got all these people believing his con magic. And then like now it's Mario like, yeah, I'm a doctor. Yeah, I'm a race car driver. Yeah, I can totally operate on your dog. Let me do that. Yeah, I can play pro golf. I'm awesome.
Mario's a pretty versatile dude. What can we say? And Luigi is too.
Right? Like,
the doctor is in. Don't worry, Oscar. The doc is in. Sure.
No.
I'm not trusting that dude with my medical conditions.
Doc Shinji is like he is the most qualified for any doctoral situation.
Ever. Before this gets too laden in inside jokes, those 3 games that I just listed off, the 3 games that Chris and I have in common that neither one of us owned, those are going to be the games that you could potentially win. I'll figure out the groundworks of this whole thing later on when we name off our audience question of the week. You have a whole show to tune into to find out.
Anyway, so I guess to continue with my thought is, yeah, my initial feelings were disappointment. I was like, you know what, I already own most of these. It's kind of a bummer. But then I kind of took a step back and I saw everyone else who was complaining on Twitter. And then I put myself in check. I was like, you know what, I'm sitting here complaining about a free thing. I'm sitting here complaining about something that I have like really no right to complain about. I mean, I did surveys that took maybe a minute of my time, and I can't even say that those were wasted because I still have the coins. The coins can still be redeemed for another reward of my choosing. So
Right. Like that
the
gigantic
platinum reward
Luigi
bonus,
statue.
man, it's icing on the cake. It's icing on a delicious, very much not a lie cake.
Well, I
So-
mean, the thing about it, and the people that are complaining, are the ones who see the illustrious Club Nintendo Japan and the kind of rewards that they get. Because on this same day, they got a Yoshi plush, and I want that damn Yoshi plush so bad.
I understand that, but remember, that's not a platinum reward. That was for coins. That's what.
Oh, I know. And their platinum reward is, you know, a game that'll never be released on their virtual console ever in Advance Wars Days of Ruin. That was their platinum reward. Like, Japan gets the exclusive shit, and North America's just down here like,
Well, that's why you have to try super hard to get to Japan to go buy such exclusivity.
I agree. And I mean, if I'm ever like butthurt over the fact that Japan, for example, gets a Super Mario 3D World soundtrack for one of their non-elite member awards, and that's just something they can spend their coins on, like, I will go to eBay and I will pay some $30, $35 or however much they offer for these soundtracks these days, and I will import it myself. Like, if I want it that badly, there are ways to find it.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, I am a little disappointed only for the fact that it seems like a counterproductive idea to give away games to people who are already supporting Nintendo and probably have most, if not all, of the Nintendo games they actually want. But, like I said, I mean, if you don't like it, you don't have to fill out the surveys, you know? Like, if you are unsatisfied with your Club Nintendo, and I'm not talking to you, John, because you're totally positive about it. You turned it right around, and I really like that. But for me, to all the complainers, to all the dudes who are hardcore complaining, Nintendo has no obligation to provide you anything more than the game itself. You paid for the game. You have no obligation to fill out the survey. You have no obligation to monitor your coin status. You have no obligation to any of that. So it's freebie, man. It's a freebie.
Fair enough.
We got some thoughts here that are super great. Andrew Rudder says, "I'm a platinum member. Even GameStop gives better rewards. GameStop gives gift cards, digital cards, coupons, physical goods, free controllers, and merchandise. So sounds like a better thing to do if you want to give GameStop your money."
True enough, but you do have to pay for a platinum membership at GameStop.
You're paying for a membership at Nintendo.
Well,
you're getting games along with it.
True enough.
You still earn the points even if you're not the platinum member, but you earn more points if you're the platinum member.
Gotcha.
And it's really only on the pre-owned stuff. You don't really get any more points on normal new stuff, which is what
I got points on the new stuff for real when I used to shop at GameStop before I got Amazon Prime and left them behind completely.
Deco says, "How typical for a Japanese game company to screw over Gaijin. Guess they've got more in common with Sega than I thought."
Deco Brill is just really pissed off, like I am, that they never localized Phantasy Star Online 2. Screw you, Sega!
Yeah, that's been kind of a jerk thing. So, Chris, speaking of some stuff and some deals, what do you know about Best Buy?
Right, I have news to talk about. All right, check it out, all you Nintendo guys who may or may not be still angry about the Club Nintendo thing. There is a leaked Best Buy ad that takes place starting the 20th, which is Sunday, and I think lasts the full week. It's
through
a
the
print
20th.
ad.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a print ad that was leaked on a Blu-ray forum or something like that.
Yep.
I don't know. But they're looking at the deals we have are you can get the Mario and Luigi Dream Team bundle 3DS XL for $170 as opposed to $200, which it would normally be. And of course that's the 3DS XL, and the digital download for Mario and Luigi Dream Team They do have buy one, get one free on select 3DS titles. It's all first-party stuff, it looks like, except for I think Disney Magical World is also one of them.
Disney Magical World is first party.
Is it?
Wow.
It
Okay,
is.
that's cool. It's good to know. So basically then all first-party stuff, and it's all pretty recent too. So Yoshi's New Island, Kirby Triple Deluxe, Tamagotchi Life, which are all very recent additions to the 3DS lineup, are all buy one get one titles, along with a couple of cool classics like Pokemon X and Y. So if you haven't gone to get those, you can potentially get both for your $40 or mix and match. I know I am a little curious about that Mario or that Disney Magical World. So who knows? Maybe Wildcard Corsair will be talking about that Disney title in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Also on sale, Wii U Pro controllers for $30 as opposed to the normal price of $50. And if you buy one of those, or if you buy the Wii Motion Plus controllers, which are not sale prices, it's regular price for those, you also get a $10 gift certificate for Best Buy. So
Fair
nice.
enough.
Yeah,
Save
very
yourself
nice.
some money.
Yeah, I might want to get one of those Pro controllers because when I played Smash with it, it was pretty nice. Oh man, now I want to buy stuff. Damn it.
Well, I'm saving. I got my money set aside. I'm totally gonna hit up at the very least. I'm gonna hit him up for the games.
I
But,
wish I could. Man, I have to set aside like $180 for Cardcaptor Sakura, which is just weeks away at this point.
Do you have
So-
to? Do you have to?
Yes, Randy
Do you
has
have-
to. Look at that face. Look at that face.
This is something that I've been waiting to like actually have a physical copy of that show since I was 12, and
Right.
yes, I'm super gay, so
Confirmed.
It would be like Randy denying himself Kingdom Hearts 2.5 H Dizzle.
Yeah.
It just
exactly.
ain't happening.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
When
And
December 2nd rolls around and it's 7 days before my birthday, you know what both Randy and I are going to be talking about on that week of the Backwards
Oh.
Compatible podcast.
true. Andrew says you earn points for free, more points for paying. I don't pay, you get more points for used stuff. That's for the GameStop thing.
Gotcha.
So I have news, guys.
What's your
Um,
news?
So was the Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods North American theatrical run not enough for you? Was that not enough crazy Dragon Ball stuff for you? Because I've got something more.
Never enough.
Well, get hyped, guys, because
Stop. Won't
there's
stop.
Can't Stop, Won't Stop. There's a formal announcement of yet another full theatrical length movie of Dragon Ball Z on track to be out in Golden Week in Japan next year, 2015. So that puts it at late March, early April, I believe. So, man, whole new movie again.
Will
Vegeta
Vegeta get his chance to shine?
Yeah, ooh, because the scriptwriter, if it's the same guy who did Battle of Gods, is super in love with Vegeta, and he's like, next time I want Vegeta to take the spotlight. So,
He did take the spotlight. He did a really awesome dance.
oh yeah, he got.
Hit the whole world from blowing up.
He had a good role in that movie, but he wants to give Vegeta even more. So you can hopefully.
But what
what?
can top Lord of the Dance?
Definitely.
Yeah, I guess not much.
Final Flash dance.
Yeah. Ooh. So apparently, the next V Jump in Japan will spill the beans on that. But we've already got a leak, so we already know what's coming. So that is super exciting. But there are other anime-ish related things that I get to talk about. John, you like Trigun, right?
I do.
Well,
It's been a while since I last saw Trigun, but
And
yes, sir,
what?
I do.
I watched the opening today, and I'm like, man, I really got to rewatch this show because it's been so long. Fun fact: it was the first TV anime series that I ever bought all the DVDs for. I was mowing lawns so I could buy some Trigun. But here's something that I learned that I never knew about today. There are Trigun Maximum, which is the manga, omnibus editions, and they're coming out with the last one this November. Like, it'll all be out. So it's 3 volumes in one of the manga story. So Randy's going to have to update his Amazon wish list, bitches, because he never finished reading all that. And the story is different from the anime because they made the anime after only, like, the first 2 volumes were made. So plenty of differences. John, gotta
Okay.
read it.
True.
I have question. I have question.
He has question.
Question. I liked the show. I liked the anime,
Good.
but in particular, I liked the second half when it got like super dark and crazy, and there's dudes controlling minds and making them commit suicide and all that stuff.
It's good stuff.
Is the manga more like that, or is it more like the first half?
I'm gonna say from what I read, because I've only read the first 2 volumes of what was just called Trigun, and then they moved to a different magazine, and they just gave it a new title called Maximum, even though it's just a continuation. And I read like the first 2 or 3 volumes of there. It's still really dark. There are some scenes in there that are like shockingly like violent and horrible, but super great and well done. So it's very visceral, but it gets a reaction. So I would say read it because you're going to find a lot more stuff like that's in there. I mean,
Cool.
there's still plenty of comedy peppered in there, but yeah, it's still serious, and people are murdered when they shouldn't be, and it's just like, oh, I'm so sad. But yeah, so you should give that a shot because it's good stuff.
Cool.
It's relatively cheap. I looked, and it looks like the 3-in-1 volumes are like $14 a piece, but that's
It's time for
14.
me to update my
Right.
Amazon wish list too.
What is the conversion to double dollars?
the conversion to double dollars. A very excellent question.
Nicely done, Chris.
It depends. Are we talking like 1998 American dollars when the show was like made and the manga was coming out? I don't know. Whatever. It's you don't need to know. You're not on Planet
Randy will
Nerd
take
Club.
it 3 steps farther.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
What's that?
No,
that?
Yeah, I
Randy
was like,
will take it 3 steps farther,
Oh.
not Randy. I will.
Gotcha. I was
Oh,
very confused.
Okay.
Jared, you've got some news about a dude and a game.
It's true.
A dude in a game.
Dude.
This dude, Cosmo, the speedrunner, he broke the record again. I just learned about this like a couple minutes ago. He broke the record again for Ocarina of Time.
Nice.
It was probably just a few frames, or it could have been a couple seconds. I actually haven't watched it. Usually I do watch the run. It's on YouTube now. So if you go find Cosmo, he already has the video up, and you can watch his new world record, and he still has ways of shaving off a few seconds. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but some of the crazy stuff they've done in the last couple of months to like half a year of like how they've been analyzing what they could do to even shave off frames has been really cool. So, yeah.
That is awesome. Ooh, speaking of things like live stream video game things, I just have one other quick thing. I like fighting games, but I don't really watch EVO, the giant fighting game championship thing, but I did watch the final match and for Street Fighter 4. It was super great, but the guy won using like a PlayStation 1 gamepad and not like, ooh, Elite Fight Stick, man. So that makes me laugh because I don't like using things.
0.000003 delay.
Well,
Right.
I was talking about this with a friend of the show, Patrick Frazier, and apparently, yeah, because it's hardwired, the circuit board is right there, and it's actually a wired thing that there is less delay, and when it comes down to frames of a move, it sometimes that kind of stuff can help. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out, and it was not a Japanese person that won for once; it was a French guy who is of Asian descent. But that's okay because he's from France. Good time.
Does that take care of us for news?
That does. So now we can talk about what we've been doing instead of the
True.
other things that people are doing. Oh man, so much. Jared,
Jared,
Yo.
what have you been up to, yo?
Well, we already talked about the website stuff I've been working on. So,
True enough.
that's absorbed a couple days. Well, more than that, but recently a couple days. So I haven't been able to watch like the new episodes of Free or of Haru Ride or Blue Spring Ride. So I'm a couple episodes behind in some anime stuff, but I think sometime last week, I watched another episode or two of Lost. So I've been watching some Lost. I just apparently none of you guys watched Lost, so I have to. I just don't even know what to say about Lost, guys. So
Sorry.
We have to go back.
We are
basically,
lost in this conversation.
There you
Yeah.
go, Chris.
we have to go back. See, this is the perfect time where you could have Holly on the podcast, because
One day.
because
You just
because
have
this
to
is
convince her to not be so camera shy and that people love her.
this
Swarm her
is where
Facebook.
we could talk about things like peanut butter, and Penny, and we could talk
Hey.
about like the Hatch.
The
We
one
can
that, if you'll recall last week, ladies and gentlemen, during our whole Reese's Peanut Butter Cup debacle, Holly's last message to me before I turned back to the show was, Jared is using my OTP against me! And I have no idea what that means, but apparently it has something to do with peanut butter.
OTP, as far as I know, because I'm not an expert on this at all, but I believe it stands for one true pairing. It's when you're like so totally in love with 2D characters that you have to make them kiss in your mind all the time.
That is the perfect response, annoying dogs.
Especially
Yeah,
got-
they're always watching.
Confused. All right.
Jared, do you have anything else?
Heck yeah. So there's this anime series, Randy, that you need to watch,
Mhm.
called Aldnoah.0.
Oh my god, I know. I didn't get
right?
a chance to watch it yet.
So episode 2 is like decently different from episode 1. They were actually both like good episodes, but man, I'm just I was really happy because episode 2 shows more mecha stuff, and has like more just like straight line storyline. They're just like, yo, we're just gonna advance the plot here a lot, and here you go. It was really cool. Yeah, it's pretty. It's like not super violent, but it's definitely violent to a degree. It's got like some really good characters going on. 2 episodes. You're not too far behind. I know you can do it.
I can do it. I know I can. I can make it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good mecha show. I think you might be interested in it. So I was watching that, and Aldnoah.0 is pretty cool. Yeah, I talked about it before, but it was pretty decent for that. I watched more Free. Free is just as good as it usually is. Like, I'm not there for the hot dudes, but Free is pretty good. So, like, the dudes, their clothes fall off and like hit walls and stuff. But like the anime, like, it's really well written. It's an original series.
It's true.
So-
Did you get to see this week's episode?
No, not yet.
Oh man. Okay.
No, not yet. No, actually, you know what?
We'll talk
No.
soon.
Yeah, not yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I did actually catch an episode of Space Dandy, season 2. I was able to watch the newest one. Actually, I barely paid attention during it because I don't feel like it was as good as what they usually are, and I don't really remember much about it. But I heard the first episode of this season was better. So, anyways, yeah, because every episode's
Has
always
Tokyo
different.
started yet, you guys?
Yep.
Yes, it started last Thursday. So episode 2 will be out tomorrow.
Where I can watch.
People can watch at Funimation.com. For elite subscribers, you can watch episode 1 and episode 2 tomorrow. If you don't subscribe and are a filthy person like me, you can start watching episode 1 for free tomorrow. So, yeah!
Yeah, I'm gonna start that too. Whatever, being a week
Ditto.
behind. I did that with like 3 Funimation series before, and I didn't cry over it, so that was good. Whatever. What else? Yeah, I mean, you know what? There's not really much else that like really stood out to me for like anime, but for this past week, because I kind of went over all of that last time. Let's see. And the final thing is I spent most of my free time catching up to the ending of where I am currently in the Flowers of Evil manga. Sitting right next to me, I have 9 volumes of the manga, because that's where I threw them when I was finished. Basically, the Flowers of Evil series, the manga, is I think it's probably maybe better than the anime, and it just I finally got to a section. There was like only a chapter or two more than where I had read up to before, and so it wasn't really like much new material, but just the feels. The feels got me heavily in the Flowers of Evil manga. After I look back at it, I really respect the work in a different way now after rereading it and watching the anime series on Blu-ray. It's really, really weird how, like, in the first, I guess, half, or maybe it's more than half, of the series itself, the narrative is like focused on the main character Kasuga and his like how he's in middle school, and you look at the artwork in the manga, and he looks like a child. But as like near the ending of his there's a time break, and getting closer to the end of like right before that time break happens, the author of the author of the manga, he actually starts to make the characters look older, and then they transition into a time break. And it's really interesting, just like the maturity or like how the characters grow. I don't know. I don't really read manga, so this is like the first one that really just is crazy. It kind of captures me. And I was like reading, and I was like fangirling, and I was yelling, and I was just like hitting pages in the manga because it made me really happy to be reading it. And then I also found my first manga girlfriend. As people say it, or usually people say anime wife, or husband, but no, there's this like character. I was really rooting for her, and I'm still rooting for her, but now I'm worried because Kasuga is a man, and men like to make stupid decisions when it comes to women sometimes. So, Volume 10 is on hold and in order right now from Right Stuff, because I think they're going to pair it with something else I'm ordering. And then Volume 11, I think, is the final volume. That comes out in like November or something. So a little bit of a wait, but hey, it's all good.
Nice.
That's it.
Way to go, Jared.
Woohoo!
Chris, proving that second is the best. What's new for you?
What?
The heck?
Dang.
You like that little dig I worked in there, gents?
Yeah. That was...
Because you're an asshole.
Wow.
That's what I do.
That's John, man, bringing back the sass. Sass Master John.
He's bringing Sassy back.
You know, I never
Yeah,
did
let's
side
see.
with your argument from this morning.
Fair enough.
Who would I side
I
with?
know, the unresolved.
Randy
unresolved
went with-
anger.
Randy pretty much went with Chris. Although I kind of skimmed this, I don't remember. And then
We can
Jonathan was
explain.
alone.
We should explain what
always
the hell
alone.
this was. This was a...
You should
Oh.
kind of.
Oh, Lord. Are we
Hey,
really?
We're not going to talk
we're
about it,
we're
but
just gonna-
Chris...
Yeah, just sum it up in 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, Jared brought it up, so now we have
They're
to
not
let
going to shut up.
We just had a discussion on whether or not Zelda is considered an RPG in the genre or not, or an adventure game.
Oh,
And then it also blossomed out into how you classify video games in general. So we have really, really nerdy discussions, and you'll never, ever see them, except for right here. But we're not going to talk about that. Maybe another episode where we want to split each other's throats.
If we ever
Um,
reveal like a backwards compatible beta version, discussions left on the cutting room floor, like this is the kind of stuff, if we ever have a podcast app, this is the kind of stuff we would include.
Beta version, we're going to give people early access. They'll have to buy season passes. They're going to have to get all the DLC if they
You
want
can
to know
just
everything.
call
All the
me
shirts
Mr.
and the hats.
Electronic Arts.
And the candy.
Yeah, of course. Chris,
Well, anyways.
what have you been up to?
Yes. All right. Let's see. What have I been doing? According to the outline which I wrote, I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem
Yeah,
Awakening
I approve of
specifically.
this message.
I know that you, John, probably had the exact same problem that I do. Went to E3, got tons of Street Pass for all your Street Pass titles. You do your best, I think, while you're waiting in lines and stuff to preview games. You try to clear out the Street Passes because they come every second you're getting another 10 people. So just tried to do that, but you don't make it to the games. You don't make it to switching cartridges and doing all that stuff. So Fire Emblem Awakening, the Street Pass can hold up to 50 Street Pass transmissions at once before it starts throwing them away. So I had 50 Street Pass dudes wanting to fight my guys on my map, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fight these dudes and raise my renown and get some of those really cool shiny rewards for renown. So I've been doing that, and man, out of the 50, I think I've done about maybe 25 to 27 at this point, and it's been a week that I've been playing it. So yeah, that may
I'm
need to take
super
another
duper
week.
curious if you run into me and my squad, or if it was too late into E3.
No, it was too late. I'm sure, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. What's your main called? What's the name?
Oh, I don't even know. I think it was pre me leaving, so I think it's Op Rainfall Guard.
All right, I'll keep a lookout for
You'll
that.
know. I show
my-
up.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna say. I mean, if you named yourself John or something, I can probably.
Yes, and all of
Oh.
my weapons, I have forged them and named them after various weapons from Cave Story, Xenoblade, and the like. So you'll
Wow.
know.
Yeah,
I was
that'll be a
dedicated with my
big tip-off.
Street Pass team, man. Y'all would know if it was me.
Well, I haven't come across you so far, but I'll keep an eye out. I had a ton of other sheet passes too, so I'll probably end up playing through some of those later. Also, in Wildcard Corsair news, my wife has like +10 to bartering skill because we totally got our way at Target. They had a sale last weekend where all entertainment items were 15% off, and not only did we get the 15% off +5 for like her Target card or whatever, but she got them to price match Amazon. So I ended up getting the Wreck-It Ralph toy box pack for Disney Infinity for the price match, then minus the 20%. So we ended up getting,
Crap.
yeah.
Your
it's
wife is
MSRP.
legendary.
I know, she is crazy,
She
man.
buys you Reese's cups and gets you deals.
Yes.
Where did you
I chose
find
well.
this woman?
Final Fantasy XI. We talked about this last week.
Yes,
We
sir.
did. We did. Fair enough. Proof that you can find the best.
Sounds like I'm
girls
gonna have to
in
start
video
playing
games.
Final Fantasy 11.
It's still going, so you still have a shot. Let's see. I tried making a pinball game, I guess, just to mention in Disney Infinity, and boy, did it not work. I got in this one again. I went back to Killzone Mercenary on Vita. I fired that up, and I was like, well, I have time between reviews. Let me just start playing games. And I figured a really quick one I could get out of the way was Killzone Mercenary. I'd only played probably about 75% of it up till now, so I just finished the last like 2 or 3 missions. It's a fairly short campaign. I'd say it's probably less than 5 hours if you're really good at it. It took me about 5.5 because I kind of died a lot in the end, but whatever. You know what? I really, really, really want to talk about that game at length, like review style, but all of the review outlets that I write for, being GamePodunk.com and 8bitfix.com for all your game
Look at that look on his face. He's like,
Heck
I'm a
yeah.
plug.
It is the
Shameless.
shameless plug look. I am shameless right now, and I don't care who knows it. I think I'm probably going to put something up on the backwards compatible Tumblr page. So if you guys want to check out my thoughts at length on Killzone Mercenary, then you can keep an eye out for that. Maybe in a couple of days, who knows? Who knows? It could be tonight. I don't know. I don't plan these things.
Right.
Look at him. Oh, Chris, don't ever change.
And speaking of reviews, the ones that I had mentioned previously, those went up. We did try to go through GamePodunk and get Mousecraft, but that didn't kind of work out. So I am now reviewing Abyss Odyssey, which came out this Tuesday for PS3, PSN kind of deal, Steam. don't know what
PS3,
else.
360, and Steam.
Yes, there you go. I'm playing that on PlayStation, specifically on PlayStation 3. So I know you're playing it too, John.
I am playing it
Interested
on.
to know your thoughts.
What's up?
I'm interested to know your thoughts on it, man.
Oh, see, I did not get that game through any given review outlet. I will be reviewing it on my own devices because I played that game at length at E3 2014, saw how much it controls exactly like Smash Brothers, and thought this is a game I need to own. Because it's for those of you unfamiliar with Abyss Odyssey, it comes to us courtesy of Atlas. I forget who the developer is. I think they are
Ace
the
Team.
ones behind Oddworlds.
Ace Team.
Yeah. So they take this roguelike, but in my opinion, mind you, and it does translate to this because I didn't hear this, it controls like Smash Brothers. That's not something I made up. That is something the Atlas rep and I sort of like have all heard collectively. It works like the subspace emissary portions of Smash Brothers in the sense that you're controlling these characters through these very gated environments that then open up and you can explore it. But the whole premise is every single character, enemy, opponent, whatever, every single living object in the game can be possessed and controlled. So every single living object in the game has a fully fledged moveset that you can control and master. And it's freaking crazy. Because the game will be over in maybe a few hours tops, but the replay value will be in gathering all of these characters and enemies. I've heard that even the final boss can be possessed and controlled as playable. So, like, everything in that game is your sandbox to control and master as you see fit, and I'm looking very much forward to actually getting into the crux of the game. So far, I've only played as far as I did in E3, which was just maybe an hour or so of just raw exploration, and feeling these controls in my hand and realizing how much it really does feel like a Smash Brothers game. Like, it's kind of cray-cray. You got your up Bs and your sword swipes and your smash attacks. Like, it really does. When you put the controller in your hand, no matter what character you're controlling, if you've played a Smash Bros. Game before, it will be a natural pick up and play for you.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. I did notice that. As for my thoughts on it, I'm not going to go into too much detail because it is a review that I'm going to be doing for Game Products. I don't want to spoil all of it. But as far as my first impressions on the game, I will say I don't quite know where to feel about it right now, because like you said, it does control like Smash. The controls were very natural. In fact, when I played, I jumped straight into multiplayer thinking, hey, let's see what the connection is like, because when you're reviewing games, it's very important to talk about the availability of multiplayer, how it runs. Is it choppy? Is it going to be something that's prone to lag? Is it structured, drop in, drop out? Things like that. And unfortunately, no one ended up dropping into my game. I'm not sure exactly how many people picked it up on the first day, but it skips all the tutorials and it skips all of the story. And so when I went in, it threw me directly into the abyss.
So it's probably like when you're playing a game at E3 and you have no freaking idea what's going on, and you're just like, I'm dying over and over again.
Well, actually, I didn't die. I ended up quitting. I got probably halfway through the abyss, and I said, you know what, let me not get ahead of myself. I'm going to take it right back. And my levels that I gained transferred over when I started the single player, so that was nice.
Yep, that is something that game
it does definitely, the control scheme is definitely like Smash, which was really easy to get used to without any sort of tutorial. It was actually really easy for me to figure out what was happening. The only thing is once I did transition to the single player, I was kind of shocked that I didn't miss much in terms of story. I'm not sure if this is something like, I'm not sure if you've ever played Infinity Blade. John, probably not, because you have a phone that does not do most things. but not for long.
Everyone, my phone is a little far away, though.
But that one is another roguelike, and that one, it gives you a very, very minimal story to begin with, but as you continue to play and beat the game, get levels, eventually take down the God King, then that's when you really start hitting the majority of the story, which is, it's weird, and I feel like this game is going to be the exact same way.
I'm pretty sure that it will function in that way, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that makes me really interested in the title is they are saying that as more and more people continue to beat the boss at the very end of the Abyss, they're going to change the nature of the game in which the true form of the final boss will be revealed. And it's a very passive global event where every time someone beats him, it's ticking away at a counter.
Yep.
And as soon as that counter hits 0, then the game changes for everyone involved. And that, I don't know, that sounds really
that's
exciting.
something that even the Atlas rep was like really, really, really selling.
Yeah.
So they are really taking that seriously. Like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That if you're gonna sell a game on something, man, sell it on something like that, because that sounds like a really unique premise.
Like the
So
game is probably pretty light on story and light on its presentation elements, and focuses almost entirely on the Smash Brothers style gameplay that many, many people are already familiar with. But the true nature of it is going to be in this sort of cooperative, like, let's all get to the final boss and let's all see how this game changes. Like, it's super dynamic in that way.
Yes, indeed. Wind blew over my tablet, but I caught it.
Nice. We don't want a cracked screen live on the Backwards Compatible.
That would be
Very
awful.
bad.
But yeah, so there was that. I do have a couple more bits. One of them, I want to start off with a big thank you very much, very sincerely thank you to our good friend Charlotte, whom all of us are familiar with and all of us truly, truly like. She's totally awesome. There you go, man. Yeah, let's give it up. Good old Char.
Yeah.
She slipped me she slipped me a PSN code on Saturday, and I was like, what's this? And she's like, here, go get some games on the flash sale. So I was like, all right, cool, and I redeemed it, and I was like, wow, you didn't have to do that. That was super cool. So I ended up picking up Legend of Dragoon, which is like super, super awesome. I remember that game from back in the day, and I was super enamored with it, and I'm like, this is... It felt kind of like a blatant
You're going to be enamored with it again,
clone,
sir.
but in the best way.
I picked it up too.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to play that
This
again.
is what I like to hear, people.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
well,
I
you're
mean,
gonna
I still have the disc,
continue-
but 99 cents.
yeah, 99 cents. Can't beat that.
Nope.
Same with
You're going to
Wild
continue
Arms.
to be happy, John, because I picked up Thomas is Alone, or Thomas was alone. Thomas is going to be alone. I'm not really sure about the tense on that.
Thomas
But,
was alone is the tense on the title, but he won't
Well,
be
he's-
if you continue to move through the game.
I was going to say
Until the
he's
sequel.
certainly not alone anymore because he's sitting really happily on my PS3 and my Vita with plenty of other games.
Yes. Cross-buy, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's funny too because you could buy either one, but even if you bought one for 99 cents, the cross-buy kicked in, and you got
Yep.
the other one for free anyway.
Yuppers. Gotta
I
love
also
that.
got a couple others. I got Dino Crisis 1 and 2, which I'd never played before, but other people seem to like them, so I'm like, hey, why not? I'll do that. I'll give that a shot. I know that I went ahead and I sent you a message asking you if Wild Arms 2 is totally cool.
Did you jump on it?
I did. I got Wild Arms 1 and 2.
Damn right.
I also got Double Dragon Neon, which I like. I actually had it back when it was PlayStation Plus. It was free. And, of course, I stopped buying into PlayStation Plus, so I lost it.
Right.
Well, now I got it again. I can totally beat Skullomania with my Billy and Jimmy.
So out of all these games, which one are you most excited to play first?
Definitely Legend of Dragoon. I know
I got
I've played it before, and I don't remember why I didn't beat it. I got to like the third disc, and I think I think I lost my memory card or something like that. The stupid little 8 megabyte. Flashback, kiddos. We didn't have hard drives to save our games on. So we had to save to individual memory units or the cartridge
memory
itself.
slots. And if you lost those, you were boned.
Although-
ladies and gentlemen.
At least you could move your saves from one console to another, like go to a friend's house and be like, oh yeah, I got
That's
all this
true.
stuff unlocked.
That was
You're
cool.
good.
but it was a double-edged sword because you could take it out, take it to your friend's house, and leave it there, or drop it, or someone could totally
Never see it
pickpocket you.
again.
And, yeah, that's it. It's gone forever. And heaven forbid, oh my God, heaven forbid you have one of the Sega Dreamcast
Via
WMU?
virtual memory units.
Whew.
Oh my God, those were expensive.
Got like 7 of those at this point. It's ridiculous.
Well,
All the-
Oh, those Chow mini games, man. That was my fucking jam. Walking the little Chows and dude, Sonic Adventure 2 battle represent.
So heck yeah, so I'm super excited to jump into that, and as soon as I'm off this Abyss Odyssey review, you better know that I'm going to be on Legend of Dragoon like white on rice, man. It's going to be awesome.
It's good stuff, Chris.
I'm
That
excited
goes
because
for everyone here.
I too jumped on the PSN flash sale. I contemplated getting Dino Crisis 1 and 2, but it's like, then I would never, like, they're not going to make any more. So then that would make me sad if I got into it. So I decided just to, like, no, wait. But I did get Legend of Dragoon and Wild Arms 1 and 2. So.
Yes!
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I did too.
High five.
Yeah.
We all got it. That's
Yeah.
Let's
Super
have
awesome.
a dance party. Dudes, hold on, because I'm going to show off some geeky swag. I'll be
Oh
right
my
back.
gosh.
all right. Well, as
Yeah,
he gathers things, I'm gonna get into my last bit here, which is the Magic of the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalkers 2015. Say it 3 times fast, and I'll buy it for you. Don't really, because I'm broke. Is out now, supposedly, but not really, because I checked and it's not there. Stainless Games. If you're listening to the podcast, what is going on, man? I want to buy your game. Where's your game? Where is it?
What game?
You can get it on Steam, I'm sure.
What did I
Well,
miss?
yeah, it's on Steam. It's on Steam and it's on iOS, but I don't have an iPad and it's not on phones. So,
I
yeah.
was only gone for half a second, and like you're in
Yeah.
the completely different realm of games
We were
now.
on, like Cray, and it was awesome.
But John has a toy or something really neat to show
I
off.
do. This is the main character from Wild Arms 2.
Oh boy. show
Wild
him.
Arms 2 is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. You just have to get through some of the localization pitfalls associated with it. But if you stick with it, and if you take the story with a little bit of a grain of salt, it's still very much a comprehensible thing. But, like, stuff like this is why you play through Wild Arms 2. And I totally have a statue made by
Don't worry.
Bandai.
You know
That
what
guy looks
game?
like he's about to fight Ultraman or something.
It's true.
Um,
This
I
is
know what
the
game I
Night
wish-
Laser.
I wish that certain game was on the PSN sale, and that would have been Wild Legs. Wild Legs.
Wild
2
arms,
and 3.
wild legs, wild noses.
No, just arms and legs. Those are some really interesting series right there.
Mm.
Or if you want to get really saucy, Wild Ankles.
Haha.
Chris, don't talk so dirty on the show.
I need
Yeah,
to
I'm-
make this an X-rated podcast.
Talking about
Hey,
wild ankles.
Hey, John already took us there. John already showed his back off to the whole internet.
day
man.
one. Day one.
It started with the backs. Just didn't get no
Never
flags.
forget. We're going to have our own episode of Free. It's going to be me, Randy, Jared, and Chris all frolicking into the pool.
We don't have
Oh
to
my
do
God.
that. It's not necessarily something we have to do.
Chris, do you have anything else on your outline?
Only that Randy promised me that I would be very uncomfortable while doing this podcast, and so far I'm not uncomfortable. Randy, what's up?
I just haven't brought my A game. I'm sorry. Maybe next
Oh, okay, all right.
time.
That's it for me.
Sweet. John, you or me? You want to duke it out for who goes first?
Go ahead, Randy. I'll go
Okay.
last.
Then I'm going to do a couple of things here real quick. First, Deco says memory cards are spacious compared to 1.44 megabytes and 1.2 megabyte floppies, or worse, 360 kilobyte floppies. It's true, that was horrible.
He also says those exposed ankles using
Yes.
very little valves.
Mhm. Patrick Frazier says, eventually you make Wild Voltron.
It's true.
by combining all these different pieces. Okay, so little brief bit of news because this is something that just got at least said on Crunchyroll 25 minutes ago. So there's a new Blu-ray DVD that came out in Japan recently. That's Anato Yuki no Jiu, which is Anna and the Snow Queen, or Frozen. Finally came out on Blu-ray over there, and it's been doing gangbusters. It's still in theaters, but it has easily become, and this is quoted straight from Crunchyroll, easily become the top-selling Blu-ray of all time, surpassing the previous record of 465,000 set by Evangelion 2.0, You Cannot Advance, released in May.
Shit.
It also broke the first-day Blu-ray sales record previously set by Evangelion 3.0, You Cannot Redo. So
holy shit.
Yeah, it sold 661,000 units in Japan on day one. So yeah, it's bigger than Ava over there, which then someone very funny who, if you like video games and things, you people should follow this guy on Twitter. It's at Electivirus, ELECTIVIRUS, who tweeted that and then throws things out like rebuild of Frozen 2.22. You cannot let it go.
Oh,
Frozen 3.33. You will not build a snowman.
I dig it.
His name sounds like that PSA for, what is it, like electro gonorrhea, the noisy killer.
Oh God, yeah.
From Futurama, that Futurama joke.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I got something to add to that. I'm not sure if you guys were aware. They're actually releasing, because Frozen is so obviously so big over in Japan. They're releasing a PS4 with a Frozen-themed PS4 with Anna and Elsa etched into the side.
I want it.
Gravy.
That's
look at it.
That's a Japanese-only thing.
Of course it is, the bastards.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have never seen Frozen yet.
Go kill yourself.
What's wrong with you?
Go watch the movie. Or go watch
great.
the movie, better yet.
Yeah, I was watching this video last night of
I will watch it
someone
at
mapped-
some point. I'm just in no hurry.
someone mapped Hatsune Miku over what's her name in Frozen, and the whole song was done in the Hatsune Miku voice, and I
Oh,
watched
God.
the entire thing. It was great.
That was kind of cool, actually. And then on Crunchyroll's page for that, they also have a bunch of clips, including "Let It Go" in Japanese, which is super great.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, do it. Okay, so
I
then I'm
made
gonna.
you watch it.
Yeah, it was super worth it and super good.
Yes, it was.
So here's my stuff. For Basement Quality, the Let's Play thing that I do with Patrick Frazier and some other
Shameless
dudes.
plug number 686 of the
You have
Backwards
to
Compatible
look.
Podcast.
You have to look in the eye of the camera when you say it. Like, you gotta your full attention.
No, it
Look
was
at my plug.
it was shameful. Like I'm like, oh. But anyway, so the game that we had been playing is No More Heroes for the Wii. So we finished that. We finished that on Monday.
Shrink wrapped.
It is not shrink wrapped. It's open. It's just
Oh,
that
okay.
I take very good care of my things.
Nice. Good point.
So
Not anymore.
Not
It's
anymore.
got your beard lice on it.
Damn it, you're right. All of my beard crabs. So yeah,
Oh, God.
Yummy.
I beat it. I beat it for us, and I haven't done that since 2007. Holy fuck, that was 7 years ago. I'm old. So Suda 5-1 did not disappoint. And for the record, I just want to spell this out for everybody out there who calls him Suda 51. The thing is his name is Goichi, and so 5 is Go, and Ichi is 1. 51 is not said that way, so it's 5-1, not 51. I just wanted to get that out there, and it drives me insane.
Oh, I learned something today.
Yes.
I wanna say that if he really wanted it to be, Suda 5-1, he would have put a hyphen or a dash or something.
That's true, but, whatever. People can learn.
Dude, you guys, this is symbolism right here because it's 51 minutes past the hour as we're talking about. Suda 5-1.
Whoa.
Dude, we're gonna get struck by lightning or something. This is crazy.
So we played it.
Backwards compatibleception.
We played it, we beat it, and at the end of No More Heroes, you fight the last boss, whatever, blah, 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 and then you go to the bathroom, as you do in real life, because that's how you save in that game, is you go poop. So the end of the game, you go to take a poop, and then a guy busts into the bathroom, and he wants to assassinate you, because that's the name of the game, is to be the #1 assassin. And but you get a choice. You get a choice of seeing the ending or real ending, and the ending is the guy just busts in on you, and you're like, oh no, I can't believe this is happening again, and then credits. But the real ending, you get to fight a whole other boss, and there's more crazy stuff, and hints towards the sequel, which eventually did come out. But I was like, all right, now I get to fight the final boss, and I couldn't select real ending because you need to play on higher difficulty than easy, and I just wanted it to be on easy so we could just go through it. So we just didn't get to do that part, but that's okay. That means that people can go play it themselves or just watch it on YouTube, which is what they'll probably do. But yeah, so after playing through that, now I want to play No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle, because I haven't played that since 2010, because I think that's when I got it, and that's like when it came out. But yeah, so No More Heroes is good stuff, and I have not played any other Suda 5-1 games, and he has had more come out.
Is your fapping arm like really strong now? Because of
it is, because that's how you
Beast
charge your beam
Yeah.
katana. It's the Wii remote, and you have to do that,
yeah.
and then you get a full battery.
Your fat hand is strong.
Well, I didn't, Chris. Everybody knows that's not what trained that arm. No More Heroes did not train my hand. There was plenty of training that went in beforehand. Everything was leading up to that.
The thoughts and opinions expressed by Randy Thompson and Chris Garcia are not necessarily those of me, Jared, or anyone representing Backwards Compatible at
How
the
do you
time.
know?
Let's
No
not-
fapping
let's not
here,
kid
ladies and
ourselves.
gentlemen.
How
But
do
they
you
are-
Let's
know?
not kid ourselves.
True.
We're bringing sexy back.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
Sexy
Y'all don't
back.
even know.
Boom, boom. Something about heart attack.
So, people out there, if you're looking for a fun game on the Wii to play, or you can play it on the PS3 because there's a PS3 version that came out. No More Heroes, but I would suggest playing it on the Wii because motion controls. Yay! You don't need Wii Motion Plus because that was before the days of that. But it's fun times, and there are 2 games, so you can play that. I have another game on the list that I got to play. Animal Crossing New Leaf is now in my possession. Shout out to listener, watcher Andrew Rudder, who's been awesome and contributing to the Q&A all the time. Sent me a nice big care package of a bunch of movies and games and things. Actually, what else? I've got a whole bunch of like PS3 and PSP games. But the first thing I did was try Animal Crossing, because I've only ever played the GameCube one for like 10 minutes. So this was kind of that. Does anybody here still play?
I
You,
don't play it, but I know many people that do.
You
Okay.
made a critical error.
How did I
You made
make?
a critical mistake.
Uh-oh.
When you begin Animal Crossing, you will only play Animal Crossing for quite some time. my friend.
Well,
You've taken your first step into a much larger world.
oh no. I've met with a terrible fate, haven't I? I actually only played it a bit on Sunday, and then Saturday, and I haven't gotten back to it yet. So hopefully everybody in
Dude,
town hate me.
Weeds are going to be everywhere. Do you even know?
I don't even know because I haven't had to deal with weeds yet. It hasn't even been a thing for me. But I moved into town and I took out a loan on a house, and I made the down payment. Does that count?
It should really read like Animal Crossing. You're here forever. That's what it should. That's the real name of the game.
Rated
yes,
L
I
for the
support.
rest of your life. So yeah, so it'll be cool to try that out, and it'll be fun to do towny things and start a house and stuff. So I don't know what I'm in for. Animal Crossing is new to me, basically. So
You get to wrestle sharks
Oh.
and get bit by scorpions and tarantulas and
I don't
all the
want
time.
that. I don't want that.
And you get into like momentary fights with other animals
Whoa, whoa,
who are
whoa!
vying for control.
Is Animal Crossing considered an RPG like Zelda?
I don't know. You are role playing as another character.
Oh my God, you're right.
Oh!
This
Ladies and
completely
gentlemen,
makes
I
my
have
argument
studied-
with Nathan Drake.
Pokemon,
is
which
item
It's
progression.
totally
I use against these idiots? These
every game.
buckers.
So
There is item progression as you upgrade your shovel to the silver shovel and eventually the gold shovel.
ooh.
We can all argue later, but this is an RPG. This right
No,
here.
that is an RPG
There
for
you
sure.
go.
That's
Let's
just
all
that's
agree
just
to
agree
a
on
walking statement for animal cruelty.
So, as you had said, Chris, that I had made a major mistake, and that it's Animal Crossing. You're here for life, and you know it. Andrew, who's watching the show right now, says, "Thus why I got rid of it."
He freed himself
This
of
is
the
like-
beast.
He
This
had
is like-
in order to
It's
free himself-
finally gone.
In order to-
It's like Thinner.
Yeah,
It's like that Stephen King Thinner where you're like, no, in order to get rid of the curse, you got to give it to somebody else. He totally got you, man.
yeah, I'm screwed that I give this over to somebody else. Before we talk about the terrible fate that I may have stumbled into, I'm going to move it over to something else that I started doing, and that's I started making my way through, well, at least the anime calls it R arc of the Sailor Moon manga. So fun times. I read like another volume. It's good times. It's super fast. Like, damn, does it move fast compared to the TV series. But then again, they're not fighting 8 bajillion monsters that have nothing to do with it while they go out and get ice cream and have fun times because they're teenage girls. Yay! But it's good. It moves fast and it keeps your attention a lot better than the old anime series. Not that the old anime series is bad. I love it to death, and I will be buying those Blu-rays when they come out this sweet, sweet fall. But the manga's great, and I'm hoping that Crystal does well enough that the Toei's like, this is a lot of money that we're making. We should do the rest of this crap, and then do more of the manga because that'll be fun. And there are differences in things, which is super, super cool. So basically, I'm loving it. And Jared, go buy the manga and read that after you're done with Flowers of Evil. It'll be a fun thing to switch to from Flowers of Evil to Sailor Moon. You gonna do it?
And then, like, the later half of Flowers of Evil, Evil doesn't even have much to do with it anymore.
Oh.
It's just like a weird shift. But Sailor Moon, I gotta wait for the next episode.
Yes. That'll be on Saturday, so get hype. Speaking of other anime, Log Horizon, I watched another episode or two. I think I have like 3 left to go. Basically, the main event and the whole thing is over, so it's kind of like tying up loose ends, but apparently there's going to be something else that's going to happen, maybe. So our good friend that we talked about before, Charlotte, had mentioned that she does not watch a lot of anime, but she loves Log Horizon. So if you guys, specifically the ones I'm talking to, unless all of our viewers out there are friends with the magnificent Charlotte, take her word for anything, watch Log Horizon. And you should.
We ought to get Charlotte on this show sometime.
You should. It's just this damn time zone things, because I'm not sure if you noticed, but Australia is like forever away.
They're in the future.
We'll try to figure it out.
We will. I watched Free Eternal Summer. Oh my god. Thank goodness this week's episode went the way that it did, otherwise I would have quit and never would have watched it again. I'm not going to spoil it for you, Jared, or for anybody else that's catching up out there, but depending,
Tight-lipped,
like
dude.
Yeah, if it would have gone differently than how it went today, I would have been like, nope, I'm done watching the show. Don't care anymore. So watch it and get to that point, and there are feels, and it's really good times. I did watch another anime called Love Stage.
Yep, you get to hear me talk about this.
Yep, you get to listen to me talk about Love Stage. So second episode came out today, and I have not gotten a chance to watch it, but I did watch the first episode, and it's good. I think there was a post about it on Go Boyano or something. Not by Jared, though, it looks like. Or no, maybe it was somewhere else, like Crunchyroll or something. But anyway, Love Stage is, there's romance involved, apparently. Because,
Clearly.
I know, spoilers. Oh my god. But it's about this college dude who is really into manga. He wants to draw manga for his job because that's what he likes to do. He likes to draw. Oh, also he's really terrible at drawing. Like they cut to show his things, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting better," and they just look more hideous. Like he's trying to draw like the pretty like Hatsune Miku of their universe, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is just going the worst." But he comes from a entertainment family. Like his mother was a model, and now she's an actress. His dad was an actress. His brother's in a band and like traveling around and doing stuff, and like all of his ancestors and stuff were in show business. So he wants to do manga, so he doesn't want to do the family business. But he gets basically made to be at least in one thing for the family business, and that was when he was a child. He was in a commercial with a guy who eventually became a big-time superstar or whatever. But the role that he played, this main character, was not traditional in that the actress, the girl that was supposed to show up, didn't make it, so they dressed him up like a girl and never told anybody else. So he played a girl in a commercial when he was 8. And now, to capitalize on the success of like the other guy who's become really big and famous, they're like, we're going to do a 10-year reunion, and you have to dress up like a girl again. And make sure not to tell anybody, because otherwise that's really embarrassing. And now apparently the other guy has a thing for this girl. So it'll be interesting to see how that whole relationship plays out.
Have you seen Tootsie?
I know of it, but I've not seen it, no.
Because that's exactly what this sounds like. This sounds like Tootsie. It's like Dustin
That's
Hoffman.
a big old negative in my book.
You didn't like Tootsie? Who doesn't like Tootsie?
Hey, that's a big old negative insofar as I haven't seen it.
Oh,
It sounds like the genre of film that I do not go out of my way to seek.
Well, John, you got a Crunchyroll subscription. Go ahead and watch Love Stage. From the words of watcher, listener, guy who gives me curses named Animal Crossing, says Love Stage! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! You know it's good because of the exclamation points.
It's true. Emphasis.
Exactly. Love Stage! Like you have to say it excited and scream it.
Love Stage!
So that's kind of been what I've been doing this past time. So now it's just John. John.
Let's see if I can turn like 3 or 4 games into 3 or 4 hours. You think I can do it?
Well,
oh God.
I don't have to sleep. Forget that.
No, it's all good. I definitely want to look square into my camera. My Tumblr page, radicaldefect.tumblr.com, is finally live with content. I have 20 articles coming out before the month of July is over, and that will only grow. Happy fun times. Getting out of writing slumps is the worst thing, but I wrote stuff. I'm good. I want to create brand new editorials for Tomodachi Life, for Shovel Knight, and all the stuff you've heard me ramble on about in this here show. One of those things is Cave Story 3D, which, by the way, I can take this cartridge out of my 3DS right now and show it to the camera, because I do indeed own my imported copy of Cave Story 3D with its nice fancy little case that's over yonder. So, obviously when I'm playing through a game like Soma Bringer or Saga 3 Jiku no Hasha like I did for All Rainfall back in the day, that's a game that I'm not too familiar with and that I'm really apprehensive as to whether or not I'll make it to the end credits or not. Cave Story is a little bit different because I know that game like the back of my hand, so even if it's in a completely different language, I still know exactly what I'm doing and exactly where to go. A few things about Cave Story 3D, because I have actually not talked about Cave Story 3D in any capacity on any show. So Cave Story made itself known because of its swanky 8-bit style visuals. When you look at Cave Story, you get the sense that like it's harkened to the NES era or something like that. Cave Story 3D brings those visuals to life. The Cave Story itself is very plain. Like, the backgrounds aren't really drawn out, and everything is kind of colorless. I would almost consider it bland, but I mean the characters and their interactions kind of bring that game to life on its own. But the world around them isn't populated by very much color, and there's not very much you can do to sort of, like, bring the world itself to life. But with Cave Story 3D, the background visuals are, like, super-duper drawn out and lifelike, and like you could tell that the system is being brought out to its full potential, especially when you put it into 3D mode. One of the things that I tout when it comes to Cave Story 3D is that, like, I think NIS, Nippon Ichi Software, is responsible for developing that game alongside Pixel. So they do a better job of using the 3D effects of the system than most first-party Nintendo games of that day. So, like, I'm super duper happy to play through Cave Story again, and proof that my skills have definitely improved since I last put my hands on the game. I was formerly unable to beat the Bloodstained Sanctuary / Hell section of that game. I was stuck at it. I could not ever beat it. I've gone from not being able to beat it to beating Hell on my very first try. So that's the end of my Cave Story 3D talk. The Japanese exclusive content involves characters that you can play as that aren't the main character of the game. So you can run around the game playing as this little dragon dude and other characters that I'm not really familiar with. But I mean, it was a good investment for me because I have a physical copy of Cave Story that's not going anywhere, and another excuse to play Cave Story on my bigger, brighter Japanese 3DS system. So there's my Cave Story talk.
Yay.
I know you guys have heard me talk about Star Fox 64 many, many times in the past, but I need Chris to be sitting down for this portion because I'm not just going to be talking about Star Fox 64. I'm going to be talking about Star Fox 64 3D because I'm an idiot and I totally purchased the digital version of the game and I was on a Star Fox 64 kick. So, instead of playing through Star Fox 64 on my broke-ass virtual console via the Wii channel, I have been playing it on my 3DS. The reason I purchased Star Fox 64 3D again was because I went to play Star Fox 64 on my Wii Virtual Console via the channels and whatever. My controllers were just not working with me, and the flight controls were just not working how I wanted them to work. And I'm just like, why not? So I did. And apparently when my emotions are running high, I have not played very many games this week because I've been dealing with some family issues. When my emotions are running high, I take it out on Andros. I have gotten 2 of the highest scores of my entire Star Fox life. I think one is in the 1300s and one is in the 1200s. And, like, I just went stir-fry crazy, man. It's nuts. And we already talked about Abyss Odyssey, so beyond my I play tons of Pokemon, and Holly and I are watching the Pokemon anime bit by bit, and it's always super cute because we snuggle and we watch Pokemon, and Pikachu does cute things, and yeah. I think that pretty much covers my week.
Wow. Nice. I think that's your shortest list you've ever had, John.
Hey, when family happens, family happens.
True. Very true. Can't do much about it. Oh, man. I think that's a show. Other than... We have a bunch of audience questions this week, I see. Are we just throwing them all out there? What is going on, guys?
Hey, I don't know about Chris's audience question. You can read that if you want.
Okay, well, Chris, being the funny guy that he always is, his audience question is, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could get herpes and ruin his life forever, since he never bothered to ask that girl if she was clean, even though she swore she was on the pill? Even though the pill doesn't do anything for sexually transmitted diseases, that's just pregnancy.
I really don't understand where Chris was coming from when he wrote this audience question of the week.
Me neither, but if you know the answer...
I came up with one in addition that was like, what was your go-to snack food? But the real end of this podcast, I'll go ahead and take it from you since I'm the one with a code in my hand, potentially. Chris came up with this one. He says, we all own stuff we're proud to show off. And what are some of your most prized geeky possessions? Your import game collection? The sweet collector's edition? Own an impressive anime collection? A cool statue or figure? Like this one? Have an awesome comic book? You can post pictures on our Facebook group, submit them to our Tumblr page, or tweet them at us. This is what I want our audience question of the week to be. I want to see your geeky swag. We want to see your geeky swag. Whether it's the shirt on your back or the figurine on your wall, we want to see it. What is your proudest geeky possession? You show me, and I'll pick one at random to receive the 3DS or Wii U retail offering for Platinum members from Club Nintendo of your choice between Fluidity Spin Cycle, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, or Game & Wario. The choice is yours. Just show me your geeky swag, and I'm good for it. I'll iron out the details later, and we will certainly talk about it next week as your entries start flowing in. I'll go ahead and give that like a 2-week deadline, and we can stretch this audience question of the week into several weeks. Whatever y'all want to do, I'm good for it.
Hell yeah. We want to see it because sure you guys want to show us your stuff, if you know what I mean. You can hit us up anywhere and everywhere. Facebook, that's facebook.com/backwardscompatiblepodcast. You can catch us on Twitter at BC_podcast. You can email it to us or any other questions and things like that to feedback.bcpodcast@gmail.com. You can comment on Google+, on YouTube, wherever the heck you want to do it, man. You can also, while you're at it, you can follow us individually on Twitter. You can catch me at Saber_Breaker.
And you can catch Chris, who has left the show due to weather conflicts. He is at Wildcard Corsair. I am at Radical Defects.
And I am at Sahowski J.
Ooh, so that is episode 4 of Backwards Compatible. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, John, for making it.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
thanks
Jared.
to Chris.
Yes, thanks to Chris, who's gone. Thank you, Jared, for being here.
Especially considering the hectic day that you have had, sir. Which,
And
by the way, Jared, congratulations to you and everyone at Go Boyano for a
Yeah.
successful launch of your media
Seriously,
section.
way to
Like,
go.
seriously, you're a BAMF. Like,
Yeah,
go forth and prosper, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week for episode 5.
More
of Backwards
cave story
Compatible.
talk! Woo!
Yeah, and I'll talk about more Love Stage.
Love stage!
And we'll
Ladies
talk
and gentlemen,
about
We'll see you next time.
Terror in Resonance or
There
whatever
we
it's called.
go.
There we go.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.